Hi there, Zamir for NerdTube. These are my thoughts and spoilers of Season 2 of Quantum Leap. I thoroughly enjoyed Season 2. My expectations for this season was far exceeded because I didn't realise what great writing and great storytelling was coming my way with the past and present day shenanigans that was going along with each episode and the way things were connected. When we got the earlier episodes and by the time we got to the latter episodes, I didn't think this was the route we were going to take. But I'm glad we didn't. We did take that unconventional, unknowing route because it made things more exciting, more adventurous, more pleasing by the conclusion. I'm going to break down this particular season into three categories. The first category is Hannah and Ben. 3 years have passed between season 1 and season 2 as far as the present day crew is concerned. They think Ben is dead, so Addison's moved on and she's got a new lover. But for Ben, he's only had 1 day pass as far as he's concerned. So when the Quantum Leap team find out that Ben is still alive and Addison's moved on, Ben's kind of surprised by that because it's just been a day for him, but he learns to accept that, and then he himself starts to fall in love with somebody he bumps into during several leaps in this particular season, and that person is Hannah. He meets her first as a young girl who works in a coffee bar, and it's in the 1950s. So to a degree, she is just there to serve coffee, and nobody will ever take her seriously as a scientist. But Ben sees the brilliance in her and realizes there's more to her than she realizes herself, and encourages her to fulfill her dreams and be this brilliant person she can be, and she does over the course of Ben meeting her at different periods. And she ends up being some quantum scientist and quantum physicist. At the same time, Ben and her kind of fall in love. But their love is very complicated because Ben's a time traveler. And even though Ben might meet her after a few days, as far as he's concerned, she's not seeing Ben until after a few years, and she's getting older and older and older. And the will they won't they in their relationship is really interesting because you genuinely don't know where they're going to go with this. And obviously with Addison having a new beau of her own, it does leave the door open for Ben to possibly fulfill a relationship with Hannah. Will that happen? I don't really want to spoil that too much, even though I did say there'll be some spoilers, but you got to watch the show. It's just fucking brilliant. The second thing I want to talk about is people having, I'll probably use this word quite a lot, issues with this season being woke, a word I fucking despise. Because woke is just a word used by people who just want to hide their bigotry because they have issues with seeing people who are trans or female or as far as they're considered an ethnic minority on their screens, headlining the episode. I mean, Ben Sung, played by Raymond Lee, is an ethnic minority himself, and that caused a lot of controversy as far as people are concerned when he was the face for the new series of Quantum Leap. But regardless, we had some episodes to do with what people will call woke issues. I don't give a fuck. They're not woke issues. If there were woke issues in this season of Quantum Leap and the past season of Quantum Leap, there would have been woke issues back in the day when Scott Bakula was doing Quantum Leap, but no one gave a shit about it then. Those are serious, important issues, and they are just as serious now when it's to do with transgenderism or homosexuality or non-binary issues, as well as misogyny and racism. All of these things come into play at some point during season 1 as well as season 2 especially. And I'm really happy that this show tackled them, especially the non-binary episode. Really well explained about non-binary issues. Loved it. Great stuff. And long may Quantum Leap keep going down this path, because stuff like this is good that people know and understand, instead of averting and covering their eyes and go, no, I don't want to know about these sort of things. These things fucking exist. Quantum Leap is always about talk about the talking about things that can be quite controversial. Other science fiction shows have done that in the past with it, like for instance like Star Trek, as well as the previous season of the previous show Quantum Leap with Bakula. So there should be no evading these topics as far as I'm concerned, and I'm very happy that this season also went down that route as well. The final thing I want to talk about is the Jeffrey scenario. Now, Jeffrey is the son of Hannah, and Jeffrey changes his name in the future to a guy called Gideon, and Gideon in the present day is now the owner of Quantum Leap, and he has an axe to grind. against Ben because he blames Ben for the death of his father. And this is something we see obviously when Ben is leaping, because he does try to save Hannah's husband, Jeffrey's father, Gideon's father, at one point, but all it does is just delay his death by a couple of years, and he does die later on. But because of that, Jeffrey blames Ben. Doesn't realize that Ben saved his dad from dying earlier on. He just blames his dad, blames Jeffrey for Jeffrey blames Ben for his dad dying later on, and he's unable to put the pieces together, and that's what creates this evil tech billionaire Gideon, who happens to be also Jeffrey in the present day, who wants to take over Quantum Leap and basically ruin Ben's life. Now, Ben has an opportunity to still change Jeffrey in the past by making him feel what it means to be a hero and saving people and helping people. And Ben does that. He gets Jeffrey to help him save somebody's life. And then Jeffrey grows up without that extra grind like he did when he was a kid, hating on Ben. He has a different perspective on life by working with Ben and saving people's lives. And because of that, a butterfly effect happens that changes the present day, and all these shenanigans that happened in the present day doesn't materialize. Now, nobody in the present day realizes this because the butterfly effect has happened, but Addison realizes this because she was in a holographic chamber with Ben as all of this shit was happening. So when she comes out the chamber and realizes everything's hunky-dory, she realizes things have changed, but nobody else realizes that because they've just gone with the change. They've changed themselves. So that was pretty cool. It was really well done. Addison then decides to jump in the Quantum Leap accelerator and swap places with Ben because of this code that Hannah had left behind. But the code doesn't make Addison swap places with Ben. She ends up with Ben in the past, and we see them two in the finale at the very end of the episode, running away from maybe some Nazis in war-torn France in World War II, something like that. So we have two leapers now together running around, something that's not really been done before. We've had two leapers in the past, but one was good, one was bad. This time we've got two leapers who are good, and they're lovers as well. And just seeing Ben and Addison being able to hold hands, because Addison ends up dumping her bow, by the way, and she still has feelings for Ben. So for her and Ben to hold hands, and they're kind of giving the game away a little bit. Ben and Hannah doesn't really pan out, but they have a good appreciation for each other. There's like a love of bonds and friendship and helping each other, which is what Ben and Hannah did eventually end up having. But it just kind of cemented Ben and Addison to be who they are, and now they're leaping together through time as a couple, and we'll see how that pans out, because who knows what will happen in season 3. Ben might be in the body of a woman and Addison might be in the body of a man, or there might be a cop and a robber sharing the same car and they happen to be in both bodies, stuff like that. It's going to be interesting to see what it's like for both of them to leap at the same time, and how do they get them back, because as far as Addison was concerned, this code, this formula she got from Hannah was supposed to be the answer, but it hasn't resolved that. So Ian's gonna have to use his grey matter even more and figure out a result. But let's hope that doesn't end with season 3, because I can have more of this show until the fucking cows come home. Absolutely fantastic. What a great way to end season 2 with that butterfly effect and all of that, with seeing the actual effects of what's been happening in the accelerator affecting the very people in the present day that we follow, like Magic and Jennifer and Ian and all of these people. Great, absolutely fucking great. I loved it. What a really good season. I can't get enough. Let me know what you think of Quantum Leap season 2. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. I think it was absolutely superb. Great stuff. Can't wait for the next season. Let's hope they do it. I know some of the viewership was falling, but I blame the mid-season break for that. But even I forgot this fucking show existed. Stop doing these shitty mid-season breaks and let people continue watching this show on a weekly basis. Anyway, let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube, the greatest YouTube and TikTok channel you never heard of. Take care. Bye-bye.